to rushing through Aldi, eyeing the meat aisle like it's a gold mine, thinking you've scored the best meat deal. But I'm sorry to disappoint you, you haven't. What you see in Aldi's meat packages is exactly what they want you to see. Behind the scenes, however, there's a twist that could change everything you thought you knew. This is not clickbait. I repeat, this is not clickbait. This is something every meat buyer needs to know. So make sure you watch this video to the end before you buy your next meat purchase at Aldi. If you're an Aldi regular customer, you already know where the meat section is. If you're not, as you enter through the main doors, you'll notice the produce section is typically right at the front or to one side. From there, head toward the middle or back of the store, where Aldi places its meat and dairy sections. Look for large refrigerated cases with clear glass doors or open coolers stocked with packaged beef cuts. The ground beef in particular looks like a steal, often under $4 per pound, which is significantly cheaper than the national average price of around $5.50 per pound for similar quality beef in other grocery chains. To put it into perspective, if you were to buy 5 pounds of ground beef at Aldi instead of a typical supermarket, you could save over $7, which adds up quickly over time. It feels like you've unlocked a frugal shopping level few others know about. The 80% lean ground beef is the unsung hero of weeknight dinners. Burgers, tacos, pasta sauces, meatballs. It handles them all with grace. It has enough fat to keep your dish flavorful, but not so much that you end up spooning out pools of grease afterward, which studies show can reduce the overall enjoyment and healthiness of your meal. It is dependable, affordable, and always there when you need it, making it a staple for budget-conscious families. But if that were all, I wouldn't be making this video. Here's the thing Aldi won't tell you or advertise on the package. The ground beef could be more well-traveled than you think. Thanks to a change in country of origin labeling laws back in 2015, grocery stores are no longer required to disclose if the beef comes from multiple countries. That tray of beef could be sourced from cattle raised in the United States, Mexico, Canada, or even Australia, all blended together before ending up at your local Aldi. Did you know that nearly 20% of beef consumed in the US is imported or comes from cattle raised outside the country? That shows how globalized the supply chain has become. As a matter of fact, the only required information is where the beef was packaged. You can quote me on that. So what does this mean for you, the average consumer? It's very simple. Packaged in the USA does not necessarily guarantee the cow lived its life there. If you are hoping for grass-fed beef packed with healthy omega-3 fatty acids, Aldi's standard beef might leave you disappointed. It mostly comes from conventionally raised cattle on grain-based diets, designed to fatten them up as quickly as possible. Research shows that grain-fed beef typically contains lower levels of omega-3s and higher levels of omega-6 fatty acids, which can contribute to inflammation if consumed excessively. Studies indicate that grass-fed beef can have up to 5 times more omega-3 content than grain-fed alternatives, making it a healthier choice for those seeking heart-healthy fats. So while Aldi wins on price, the health benefits of the meat might not be quite as impressive compared to premium grass-fed options found at specialty stores. As you continue to wander around the meat aisle, you'll notice a big block of ground beef. At first glance, it looks like an amazing deal, often priced 20 to 30% lower per pound than smaller packages, until you get home and realize you now own 5 pounds of rapidly aging meat. Unless you quickly organize a "how much meat can you eat" competition, majority of the meat will go to waste. Food waste statistics show that ground beef is among the most commonly discarded foods due to spoilage. To put it into some context, the average American household wastes about 20 pounds of food per month, and improper storage of bulk meat purchases contributes significantly to that number. So managing large quantities wisely is very important. From the ground beef section, just head along the same refrigerated aisle, you'll find the poultry section. There are chicken breasts, thighs, wings, and sometimes organic options under the Simply Nature brand. The first thing you will notice is the price difference compared to specialty health food stores. Aldi's organic chicken can be 30% to 40% cheaper. For instance, a pack of organic, boneless, skinless chicken breasts at Aldi might cost around $6.99 per pound, whereas a comparable product at Whole Foods could easily be $9.99 to $11.99 per pound. For some context, that makes Aldi's organic chicken some of the most affordable organic poultry options on the market, saving you potentially hundreds of dollars annually for a family that regularly consumes poultry. The Simply Nature chicken is USDA certified organic, meaning the birds are not given antibiotics or growth hormones, a significant benefit given the public health concerns around antibiotic resistance. Did you know that a 2019 CDC report revealed antibiotic-resistant bacteria cause over 2.8 million infections and 35,000 deaths annually in the US? That makes the absence of antibiotics in poultry a key selling point. Furthermore, they eat organic feed. That is a win. But is that all to it? Before you picture happy chickens frolicking in wide-open pastures, know this. Aldi's organic chicken still comes from large industrial farms that meet the bare minimum organic requirements. The USDA organic certification, while valuable, allows for thousands of birds to be housed in a single barn, a stark contrast to the small, diversified farms often envisioned. The packaging offers no information about the farm name, location, or raising conditions, which means the birds might technically have access to the outdoors, a USDA organic requirement, but in practice, that might mean a small enclosed concrete yard attached to a large barn housing thousands of birds, potentially allowing only a small fraction of the flock outdoor access at any given time. If you were to visit one of these farms, you might be surprised to see how limited that outdoor access really is. The idyllic farm life you imagine from the word organic does not always match the reality. Having said that, it would be very unfair not to give credit where it is due. For what it's worth, Aldi's chickens hold up. Whether you are grilling drumsticks, roasting thighs, or throwing shredded chicken into soups and stews, Aldi's poultry performs respectably for a fraction of the price. Many consumers report that the taste and texture are comparable to more expensive brands, making it a very viable option. Another thing on a need-to-know basis is how inconsistent their meat selection can be. Some weeks you will walk in and find a fully stocked case of organic drumsticks, perhaps 20 to 30 packages neatly arranged. The next week, the same space looks like a meat desert with only a lonely pack of thighs remaining, or perhaps just a few forlorn packages of wings. Aldi keeps low inventory on purpose. It is part of their strategy to reduce waste and keep prices low. Their efficient supply chain model, which prioritizes fast turnover and limited product lines, significantly contributes to their competitive pricing. This inventory strategy, while beneficial for their bottom line, often frustrates shoppers who rely on specific items for their meal planning. And then there's the pork. Aldi's pork chops, ribs, and roasts often fly under the radar, but the prices can make your jaw drop in the best way. Bone-in pork chops regularly sell for around $2 per pound, which feels like a pricing glitch compared to most supermarkets where similar cuts often range from $4 to $6 per pound. To put it into perspective, that makes Aldi's pork chops among the cheapest available in major grocery chains across the country. This is not an oversight. Aldi keeps packaging and branding to an absolute minimum to offer the lowest prices possible, cutting overhead costs that traditional grocers pass on to you. The pork quality is surprisingly solid for everyday meals. Those chops sear up beautifully in a skillet or hold their own on the backyard barbecue grill, delivering a juicy, tender bite that rivals pricier options. The ribs are meaty and tender when slow cooked, ready to soak up your favorite sauce, whether it's a smoky barbecue glaze or a tangy Asian-inspired marinade. Aldi butchers clearly know how to cut for home cooks who want maximum value with minimal fuss, making it easy to prepare satisfying meals without breaking the bank. All these sound very good on paper, but when you dig deep, you'll discover there's a catch that does not appear on the label. You must have noticed that Aldi does not provide much information on where the pork comes from or how the pigs were raised. The packaging will tell you it was processed in the United States, but that does not mean the pigs lived their entire lives here. If you were to dig deeper, you'd find that a significant portion of pork processed in U.S. facilities originates from pigs raised in countries such as Canada, Mexico, or even parts of Europe, then shipped for final processing. The farming methods are not disclosed. You will not find any pasture-raised, heritage breed, or certified humane designations in the standard pork lineup. Instead, it is factory farm pork that meets basic industry standards. No more, no less. According to the USDA, the majority of pork in the US comes from large-scale industrial farms where pigs are often raised indoors with limited access to natural light or outdoor space, a practice that raises ethical and environmental concerns for many consumers. And lest I forget, the Applewood smoked bacon is the holy grail of Aldi's meat department. This is where Aldi turns up the charm. Sold under the Never Any brand or their standard store label, the bacon often comes in at under $5 per pound, which is about half the price of premium name brands like Wright or Noeski's, which can easily top $10 per pound. To put it into some context, that makes Aldi's bacon one of the best bargains in the bacon aisle nationwide. The quality holds up well in the pan. The slices are thick enough to stay intact and crisp up beautifully without disappearing into a pool of grease. The flavor hits that perfect balance of smoky and salty. Consumer reviews frequently praise Aldi's bacon for its consistent texture and satisfying taste, making it a favorite for budget-conscious shoppers who don't want to sacrifice flavor. However, Aldi's bacon does have its secrets. Their standard bacon varieties contain nitrates and nitrites, which are preservatives used to extend shelf life and maintain color. Did you know that some health experts have linked these additives to long-term health concerns, including an increased risk of certain cancers when consumed in large amounts over time? So while your breakfast might taste amazing, your heart may be quietly sending you passive-aggressive warnings. It goes without saying that you shouldn't expect any sourcing transparency here either. The packaging provides zero clues about where the pigs were raised, what they were fed, or even which farm supplied them. You are simply buying into the Aldi promise of cheap, tasty bacon with some nutritional trade-offs you will need to accept. If you prioritize organic or humanely raised meat, this lack of information could be a deal breaker, but if not, this should be an absolute steal for you. Shifting from bacon, have you noticed that around major holidays like Thanksgiving, you might get a fresh turkey for an incredible price, sometimes as low as 99 cents per pound? A deal practically unheard of elsewhere? For instance, in 2023, several Aldi stores across the Midwest offered fresh turkeys at this rock-bottom price, drawing crowds eager to snap up the bargain. For some perspective, the average national turkey price outside holiday seasons typically hovers around $1.50 to $2 per pound, according to USDA reports. At other times of the year, finding fresh ground turkey at Aldi feels like winning a lottery. Shoppers often share on social media how elusive these packages are, with some stores going weeks without restocking. Aldi does carry organic ground turkey under its Simply Nature label when it is available, a brand that has gained popularity for its commitment to organic certification and non-GMO ingredients. That sounds very convincing on paper, but is that all to it? Those familiar plastic tubes of ground turkey do come with some quirks. For one, you cannot see inside the package, so buying it is a little like opening a mystery box. Don't judge a book by its cover, takes on a whole new meaning here. Will it be perfectly pink and fresh, or a little watery and uneven in texture? Customer experiences vary widely. Some say it cooks beautifully, browning evenly and producing a flavorful, firm texture ideal for burgers or meatloaf, while others report the meat turns mushy when browned in the pan, releasing excessive moisture that can ruin the dish's consistency. This inconsistency can also be seen in numerous online reviews, where about 30% of customers mention texture issues, and some speculate that the varying fat and water content in different batches contributes to this unpredictability. If you rely on ground turkey as a meal planning staple, brace for frustration. Aldi's availability seems random, appearing for months and then vanishing with no warning. For example, you might find it consistently from January to March, only for it to disappear from shelves until late summer, leaving shoppers scrambling for alternatives. Here today, gone tomorrow perfectly sums up this erratic stocking pattern, which is partly due to Aldi's supply chain strategy, prioritizing limited product lines and rotating seasonal items to keep costs low. The packaging also leaves you in the dark about where the turkeys were raised or what their day-to-day lives look like. All you get is the comfort of knowing it meets the basic USDA organic requirements, which, as mentioned earlier, are often the bare minimum for animal welfare and environmental impact. To put it into some context, not all that is green is good, since USDA organic certification requires turkeys to have outdoor access and prohibits antibiotics, but it does not guarantee pasture-raised conditions or higher welfare standards, which raises concerns for ethically minded consumers. Without transparent sourcing information, you're left to trust labels that may not fully reflect the sustainability or humane treatment practices you value. In the end, is it worth buying from Aldi? The answer depends on you. We've provided all the need-to-know information. The decision is now yours to make. Thanks for watching. Before you go, give this video a like if you found something valuable, and subscribe to our channel for more hidden intel on frugal shopping.